back to The Unleashing. I'm your host, Jared Beeler. I was going to make this video last night, and, I was sitting there and thinking about it and everything, and I didn't get the chance to, and I've been doing them late. If you guys, I don't know if you can tell, but I get off work, I'm done with the gym or whatever, and man, I'm tired. I've been getting them out at like 10. Sometimes I'll take them to the coffee shop at like 12 o'clock at night, but sometimes I've been waking up in the morning and do it. But I just got off work, it's Friday, and I wanted to get it out. And the truth is, if I don't get this stuff out fast enough, I keep learning. It's just coming in, it feels like right now at this time. Another sign that I feel like we're right here at the end. And it just keeps coming in, but I was going to talk about something big last night, and then this morning, I already got some new stuff that I want to talk about, but I'm going to jump into it. Kind of a bad day at work. I get some comments you guys can only imagine, but they're just terrible. This one lady was commenting on, don't follow Jesus when he comes or be looking for anybody good looking, and saying that he's ugly and absolutely terrible, the real Jesus, and anybody else is a fake. And she was using Isaiah 53, and it's like, wow, talk about taking a verse out of context. Isaiah's vision of Jesus is referring to when he's on the cross and he's marred for all of our sins and dying for us, and how he's raised, no money or wealth or anything like that, but humble and meek, and it's a prophecy of that. And she was attributing it to his looks and that he was ugly. And it's like, when you see Jesus, you're going to see the most beautiful, I don't even know what to call it. You're going to see somebody so beautiful, so amazing, you're not going to want to take your eyes off of him like ever. He's perfect in every single way. I don't even know what else to say, and it's just ridiculous. And then, of course, I get a comment about my hoodie or something. It's like, dude, leave me alone. I'm out in the summer, 100 degrees in my house during the summer here, and people get complaining about like me wearing a tank top or my t-shirt, and now a new one, showing too much skin where I'm wearing a hoodie. It's like, how is that even possible? It gets ridiculous, and it really annoys me, but I'm trying to get past it. But anyways, sorry for my little vent there. One of the things I want to talk about, and it's a verse I haven't mentioned before, but I wanted to point out, we're looking at this like it's this year, okay? That's the point. We're just looking at it like this thing is kicking off this year. We're going to skip past, could it be, and stuff like that, and we're just going to go with, we think that it is. If it's not, we'll start again, whatever. But right now, the way that it looks, the feeling that everybody has is this thing's about to go right now. So, looking at it from that, there is a verse in Daniel chapter 8. It's 8:14, and he said unto me, under 2,300 days shall the sanctuary be cleansed, okay? And then shall the sanctuary be cleansed. And the point is, it's talking about the Jewish third temple, okay? I just took that verse right out. You can read more about it. It's in Daniel chapter 8:14, all right? It's 2,300 days. It's just short of 7 years by about 8 months. If it were to start off, let's say the tribulation starts off next week, then it's either starting to be built or built by June next year. All right, I thought that was kind of interesting, and how I did that is just kind of worked my way back from the timeline that we know at the end. And if you use the day right before September 26th, right after Feast of Trumpets in 2025, the starting point of this would be right around the 9th and the 10th of June, which is Pentecost. The reason I kind of use that is because it happens to be one of their feast days. So I figured, hey, this might be something that they would use, Could it fluctuate somewhere? Because I don't know exactly when it's referring to being cleansed. I'm guessing as soon as we get back from heaven at the second coming. So just wanted to throw that out there as something interesting, but if it does kick off. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is for what I'm about to bring out, okay, to the table here. And this is big, and I want you guys to mull it over and pray on it over the weekend, okay? I'm not asking anything more. Like I say, until we know, and we know, we're just taking this one day at a time and we're looking at it. But I'm pretty serious about this. So Definitely think this over. Okay, this is serious. I already told you guys. The whole thing right now seems like it's a sham that's going on here. We could be looking at the white seal taking place. This is what I was talking about in the last video. Is it, or is it a part of it? Possibly. We don't know exactly what the white rider is. Is it a deception? Very well could be. It could be the white rider is deception, okay? And he's going out to conquer and all this other stuff like that. He has a bow in his hand, but he doesn't have any arrows, okay? It's fake, maybe, all right? Red horse war, black horse economy crash, and death and stuff that comes after that from both of them, and probably all the other stuff they released at the same time, including bad vaccines and disease X and all the other stuff that Bill Gates and stuff wants to do, that Kim Clements was saying was going to be giving tons of money to the church during the prophecy, the Trump prophecies, okay? False prophet, all right? Just like I've said before, all right? You can't trust it. All right, so here it goes. If it were to start at that time, all right, I want you guys to look at something here, and this is interesting. We are looking at the peace deal in Israel as being what's going to start the tribulation, okay, right? We've all heard it before. He makes a covenant with Israel and he breaks it halfway, all right? I have now officially read Daniel 9:27 so many times yesterday, and I went to Bible Hub, and I read it in every single almost version there is in the Bible to see if I could get a better picture or anything that would stand out. And one of the things I noticed right off the bat is the covenant that is confirmed is with many, okay? There's a little reference here in this Bible, and it goes to talking about Jesus when he came and died for many, and it's talking about the world, okay? All nations, people, and stuff like that. This many sounds like a world deal, maybe even 10 kings deal, all right? Because it's the Antichrist making it, all right? Might not even have anything to do with Israel, okay? Now, keep that in mind. The point of this is that the Daniel 9:27 peace or a covenant with many, which is what he makes, might take place, and while we're still waiting for a peace deal to happen with Israel, the tribulation's already started. All right, I know that's pretty heavy right there to even think about for a second, but I'm going to go over a few things here and point out why I think that's exactly what's happening, okay? Daniel 9:27, and he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week, okay? Every single one, it breaks it down. It's talking about the last 7 years, all right? That's the point. Now, and in the midst of the week, he shall cause the sacrifice and oblation to cease. And for the overspreading of abominations, he shall make it desolate even until the consummation, and that determined shall be poured upon the desolate, all right? Other versions say he stops the daily sacrifice and stuff like that. 2,000 years ago, they had the temple. 2,000 years later with the temple, we have PETA, all right? They could be freaking out over the animal sacrifice and stuff that they haven't seen in 2,000 years and all kinds of other reasons, using it as an excuse, and basically the world going, Israel's just the worst thing ever, which is what we hear now all the time anyways, right? He goes in there, stops the whole thing, and then sets up himself as God. But over and over and over again, there is no covenant made with Israel, all right, for peace. The peace deal that is working behind the scenes with Jared Kushner and Trump might not have anything to do with the start of the tribulation whatsoever, all right? This is serious business what I'm talking about right now. We're looking for a timeline, like I said, that matches up with next week around the 2nd and the 3rd, all right? Tuesday and Wednesday of October 2nd and 3rd, okay? Why do I say that? Because these are the numbers that we have lined up for what we know. Feast of Trumpets, Feast of Atonement, Feast of Tabernacles, all fulfilled at the second coming. We know that the tribulation is a total of 2,550 days. We know this because of Daniel 12, and I believe it's 12:11, sorry. And from the time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away and the abomination and make it desolate, there shall be 1,290 days, okay? All right, we were using that on the back before. I flipped it to the front, and that lines up exactly with Passover, okay? From that time to the time where we're looking at Feast of Trumpets, all right, 2 days after on Shabbat Shuvah, known as the Day of Return, it is 1,260 days, all right? And we get that from chapter 12 of Revelations, which is how long Israel is in the wild, okay? We get our two halves of the tribulation in the length, all right? 2,550 days. All right, that's how long we know that it's going for. So anytime, let's say the tribulation would start in December, I'm sorry, that doesn't line up with the numbers. And if you were to take it from there, then its 7-year turnaround would end it in December. The feast days have to be fulfilled. This thing starts and ends in the fall, okay? Or in the feast days of end of summerish fall time, okay? That's the point, all right? And we know this now, okay? We absolutely know this, and we have the timelines, okay? So we're looking for this at this time, and we have a year like right now where this looks good, and it lines up on the days, and we can all feel it. We can all feel it brewing. It's in the Holy Spirit. I'm not the only one. I know I'm not. I've talked to lots and lots of people. There's a guy at work, and we just started talking, and he's really cool. And God got him out of California recently. And, he's listening to the Holy Spirit. He's getting out there. He knows it's dangerous. You guys have heard me talk on it before, all right? And I totally believe that he did, all right? It's the Holy Spirit, okay? We're all getting quick, and people are starting to realize it more. There's a power coming with this. I feel like I'm getting smarter all of a sudden like crazy, and people are getting slower around me. I don't understand it, but we are getting close to something, okay? And I really feel that we are at the end of this. What we need to be paying attention to is if the tribulation starts. Now, here's the point. You guys are going, wait a minute, if the tribulation starts, shouldn't we be raptured? I stated this before, back on Feast of Trumpets earlier this month, when I said there might be, because the man of sin is revealed first, and we're looking at what Paul is speaking of, they're falling away and then the man of sin is revealed, we might see the first part of this. And I'm not talking a lot of it. I'm talking about during the deception part, the first seal, the white rider, and we get taken out right before the second seal kicks off the wars, okay? Why? Because that also falls in line with all the people that have had visions that we go up when the bombs are coming down, including the children and stuff like that, okay? Is the Bible taken for more credit than people's visions? Yes, absolutely. But we're also considering those visions at the same time in this scenario, okay? If it were to start next week, and the rapture happens before that, glory to God, the sooner we get out of here, the better. What I'm making the point is I don't want anybody freaking out if we find out that it has started, okay, and we all know it somehow, all right, or we find out that there's a backdoor deal that was made that was totally off the books, all right? I don't want people freaking out, okay? Trust in God, He will get us out of here, but I want this to be something that you guys can at least like, all right, we'll keep an eye on it at least and stuff like that, all right? Obama has not stopped going around, and I think we should start looking at this like kids. No nonsense, no trying to like, oh, no, he's not the one. He has done every single thing he possibly can to be the Antichrist, and his connections are on so many levels, it's unbelievable, okay? I found something this morning, all right? Like I said, I was going to talk about this stuff last night, and then boom, I found something new this morning, all right? Chapter 13, Revelations. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were the feet of a bear, and his mouth is the mouth of a lion, and the dragon gave him his power and the seat and great authority, okay? Well, I wanted to point this out. If we look at these as countries, okay? Leopard, bear, lion, and the dragon could be the Luciferian connection that he has. It can also be China connection that he has. Leopard being Germany, bear being Russia, lion being England, EU connection, and then China, all right? Look at Obama and his connections with Angela Merkel and all the stuff that's going on over there, all right? Look at the bear situation. Did I not say from the 90s they said that they had already picked Obama to crash America from the inside, and he was secretly working with them, all right, from the inside? The lion. They literally said when he got out that they wanted him to come over there and be prime minister over there in Europe and all that stuff, okay? They love him, okay? He's got connections over there, too. And the dragon, what was happening a few months ago when Trump was over meeting in China and other things like that? Obama was over there breaking the Constitution by having secret meetings without any governmental authority to be doing in the first place. What were they talking about? I think they were talking about China deals and stuff like that, because we know that he gave Hawaii and California to China, all right? Do energy attacks West Coast and all that other stuff. They wanted The islands down there are pre-planned naval invasion, okay? I've heard that he dropped military protection, Air Force protection in certain areas and gave it to the North Koreans because they're working with the Russians and the Chinese to do the first nuclear strike on America, or at least the EMP or something like that, all right? The guy's been a traitor from the start. He's got more connections than there possibly is. Every single angle there is, including his bloodline, having part of the tribe of Dan in him from his mother's side. Okay, the guy was created to be the Antichrist. He wants to be. Look at the thing that he just got busted with recently when he was at that thing. He was dressed up like Satan or whatever, Baphomet. And he got asked about it on one of the talk shows. And they're like, why were you dressed like that? I was at a party or whatever. And the guy's like, yeah, but if you were, why isn't the guy beside you dressed up? And he was like, don't you know I'm the Antichrist? And the guy's like, funny, you know? And he continues on, and he basically throws out that he is. What's the latest speech? He's like, don't be looking for the Messiah in the clouds. And he's like, the Messiah won't be running for office this time, referring to himself. This guy was having meetings, 2 months ago with all of the left-wingers and stuff like that down in New Zealand, underground bases, talking about Planet Nibiru coming in and staying safe with him. Meanwhile, Hillary she just had a meeting about the same thing, and what did she call Obama? She called him Obama the Great, okay? He was created for this. And that's not even getting into his creation, the Nephilim bloodline he has in him, with, you guys have seen the portrait where he's got the 6 finger hidden, giving homage to his bloodline of Nephilim, all right? All right, I think he's also got clone blood in him from one of the ancient pharaohs, possibly pre-flood. The characteristics of what he looks like in the face-up look almost identical. It's crazy. Fulfilling it in every single way in what he's done, all the way down to him not having the need for a woman and him being totally gay, okay? The guy wants to be. I've heard so many backdoor stories, and look how many people have asked and prayed about him at the same time and got that confirmation. I asked too. I'm like, God, if the Antichrist is out there and I know who he is, could you show him? And the very next day I found out that Barack Obama, a name that he changed himself to from Barry Soetoro, is lightning cast down, okay? He's giving his name over to Lucifer and to Satan. So the guy is bad news, all right? There's tons of reasons to take that serious, and I think for the point of this that we should, definitely. And of course it goes even deeper. His connection to the guy that was in CIA as a kid, he did the Pegasus Project, time travel, and Stargate stuff. They were there when Barry Soetoro was 19, and he went up to Mars with them, and they told him back then, and that was the whole point of the story, is that they'd already picked him for president back then. Like I say, this has been in the works for years and years. He was created. He's a genetic lab experiment, okay, to make the perfect candidate for the Antichrist. He has different culture mixtures from all over the world in his background, and the world loves him. Absolutely loves him, okay? We can't stand him, but the world loves him, all right? It's just one thing after another with this guy. So he's literally got connections. He knows about the Stargates. He knows about time travel. All right. He's got the different culture backgrounds. He's got connections with every other country around the world. They want to bring America down because it's the last stand. Okay. And he's also been to Antarctica, okay? He said he went to the tip of South America. No. He was down there meeting with them, the giants, Nephilim, fallen angels, and all the other stuff. They're going through their whole thing in their planning stages because this is about to go down, all right? This is in the last final stages of this thing, and I think we should take it seriously. This meeting that he says, this covenant, I think we should look at it more along the lines of this. Just give yourself over to this example for a second. Meets with the 10 kings right now while this stuff's going on and the UN meetings and everything like that, so it's kind of behind closed doors. All right, it's a go. We're going to continue with Agenda 21. We're going to kill off the population of the earth by 2025. It's a 7-year plan from right now, and I'll be taking over at a certain time. All right, we're going to do it. Let's start it right now. All right, that kind of a covenant that could be taking place. All right, around the 3rd or the 2nd of next month that starts it off, but it's behind closed doors, so you don't even know. So then what happens? Boom. All this stuff goes out white seal style, right? And, tribulation hasn't started. I guess go about our daily business, right? Stuff keeps picking up. Maybe they start going after the traitors, supposedly, right? Gives them excuse to go hide in the ground. Meanwhile, it's like, was it really that hard to find Obama? He's a mile down the road from the White House. Or go grab him up. Okay, we all know he's a traitor anyways, okay? Right? Why aren't they in jail? Is it really that hard? Go lock them up. You'd have half of the United States helping you do it, you know? They're protecting them. It's all a bunch of nonsense. They go to the underground bases because they know that World War III is about to start, right? So it gives them the excuse to go run and flee. And that stuff starts. Boom. Second seal breaks. All right. We get out of here. And then at the same time, Israel gets hit because America's getting slammed at the same time from attack from China, North Korea, Russia. And it totally takes us out of the picture for protecting Israel. Gog and Magog happens, okay? God comes down, totally intervenes because the tribulation started. He's looking for him again. Boom, 2 witnesses show up, all right? 1,260 days. So around November 3rd, okay? They go for half the tribulation just like they're supposed to. 1,260 days, it says they'll preach, okay? Then afterwards, because Israel is totally protected and 5/6 of the army of Iran and stuff is destroyed with their tail between their legs, God proves that he's them. People don't want to mess with them, so they make a deal with them. Yeah, we won't cause any problem. Go ahead and build your temple. Temple starts, all right? Because this World War III event that happens starting in November sometime literally only lasts a couple months, okay? They start building their temple, and it goes for the time around June or whatever, maybe after or before, and they get it built, okay? Or maybe it starts before then, and it's built by June 6th next year, or June 10th, sorry, next year. All right, and it continues on until the end of the tribulation. And of course, Gentiles and the Antichrist, everybody's walking in and all this other stuff. They start doing their sacrifice and things like that. But this gets built during the tribulation. They've got a lot of the stuff pre-built. We don't know how long it would take, but I don't think it takes that long. They could do it in less than a year, definitely. So this lines up with that as well, okay? And that would mean that the covenant made with them had nothing to do with the tribulation starting at all. It's a covenant with inside for people to be left alone. And then halfway through, where they think that there's no more worries or anything like that, the Antichrist, which has made this deal on the side that has to do with destroying the world, decides, okay, now I'm going in there because he's been endowed with Satan, okay? And it's his time, all right? So he goes in there, takes it over, and 2 witnesses get killed, only to be resurrected 3 days later and go up, all right? This is the scenario I want you guys to possibly consider, okay? It's very interesting. Now, since Feast of Trumpets earlier this month, have I had a specific rapture day already picked? Have I punched the numbers? Of course I have, guys. Of course I have. I started running things as fast as possible. I have all these different files and things like that. All right? I want you to look at this picture. All right? I took this picture so I could show you guys. All right? Look out this window. This is exactly where I start in that vision, looking out the window, okay? It's a beautiful day, just like this picture. All right? And I'm looking out over the bridge, and this UFO comes down on the clouds on the other side of the bridge, which is over the lake. It's about a mile in diameter. It's huge, okay? All right? And I'm looking out there. I have looked out that window, and I've thought about this so many times, and what I cannot remember in my dream, which is interesting, vision, is I don't remember those trees being in the way, okay? And if you notice, those trees have leaves on them. Very well might mean that it's late fall, all right? And that's why I didn't notice them. But it is something that I have told you I've considered every single thing, all right? My stepdad is moving out of Florida. I told you guys this is eventually going to happen, all right? I knew deep down inside he couldn't take it any longer, and he was looking for a reason to get out of there. He is going to get out of there. Will this line up? In the dream, I was surprised to see him. I was not looking for him on the bridge, okay? I was not. So when I looked down, it just kind of caught my eye, and then I zoomed in and saw his face, all right? So it was a surprise. I might not even know that he's going up there at this time when it lines up, okay? It's very interesting. But I will finish this off in one way. It's interesting. 2015 or 16, I was telling my aunt and uncle, all right? Because we've talked about this 1,000 times. Like, is it real? It's crazy that I'm up here. So much of it has come to pass. It's unbelievable, right? And I talk to him, and I leave the house because I'm over there talking about God like I usually am and how exciting the rapture is and all this other stuff, right? On my way home to Priest River, which is about 34 to 35 miles away from their house, I'm driving across a ridge, and I'm talking to God, and I'm asking him, God, is this really going to happen just like the dream? Or was it just a vision to get me up here? Was partial of it real, like the feel? Because I know I've never experienced anything like that before. Were you just showing me what it's like to be in the rapture? Man, it's just, I would love to know. Maybe is the whole thing real? As I was saying this, driving across the bridge and it's nighttime, right, and dark, I'm like, God, look, I'm getting right up to the spot where I saw my stepdad's gray Volkswagen Bug on the bridge. And I'm like, it was right here. And right when I said that, oncoming traffic, which I couldn't see because it was night out, came into my lights right by my truck, and it was a silver Volkswagen Bug, the exact same one that my stepdad was driving. I'm like, if that's not a confirmation, I don't know what is. That literally has to be astronomically impossible for that to happen. So, you know what? I really feel that was God telling me that it does happen like that. So that's very interesting. So I have calculated that in with the timeline in the late fall, all right? Something else. I was thinking I had more money to go get my stuff. I don't, so I have to push it off, all right? October is a 3-month paycheck, so it'll work out good so I can pay the bills and stuff like that and still be able to go up and get this last load. I'm going to need a U-Haul this time, all right? So it's going to be later. And as I'm thinking about this stuff last night, laying on the floor, video pops up, and it was talking about when Noah, all right, because the original start of the year in the Jewish timeline before they changed it after the Exodus to their spiritual New Year, or being Passover, all right, starting of their year from their actual one that starts in the fall on Feast of Trumpets. The original, when Noah had the flood, was the second month and like 17th day, all right? That lines up with the end of October and the first parts of November, all right? Does the timeline that I've already picked from when I found out and I was making the point from the Feast of Rapture, does my day land within that time period? It does. It does. Again, I keep getting more stuff that's lined up with this, all right? So it's very interesting. The only thing I can say right now is that I want to keep talking about it, because if it does happen, it's more that I can get out right now that you guys will have in your heads, because you never know what could happen. A channel shuts down or anything like that. I want you guys to have this information to at least hold on to and think about, okay? Because it's important, right? This is the scenario, okay? It's already being worked behind the scenes. The 10 kings are already there. And Obama's been working behind all the powers of the world to get it going and crash America, while the whole facade of Trump being in is exactly what it's been the whole time, what I've been saying. All this talk and all this other stuff, arresting pedophiles, I keep saying, like, yeah, they're going after these guys that have slept with like 17-year-olds and stuff like that, not the ones that are murdering and sacrificing children and the really bad ones. I've heard that Pence was allowing that stuff to happen when he was governor or whatever in his own state, all right? Along with like Romney and stuff like that has a place north of Idaho where supposedly him and his wife orchestrate that kind of stuff, all right? It's disturbingly disgusting. And they could have gone after these guys a long time ago, all right? But nothing's happening. All this Q stuff and everything like this is a sham to be like, oh, just a little bit further. Oh, just hold on longer. It's just going to get better. Yep, things are going to get better a little bit longer. No, it's called buying time, all right? While they do their final steps and all this other stuff. At the meeting, Hillary Clinton wasn't freaking out about Trump coming after her or anything like that. She was talking about being president of the U.S. after Nibiru passes through, all right? Obama's not freaking out about anything either, right? They've got so much backup and power from every different country. It's unbelievable, all right? The whole thing taking place right now is the biggest facade ever created, all right? And if it were possible, it could deceive even the elect, okay? But you guys are the elect. That's the point. And that's why you're not deceived about this. And that's why you're paying attention and you're open to these ideas, all right? Because you should definitely consider it, all right? We know that Jesus is the one that we're looking up to. It's not man, and it's not going to get any better. It's getting worse, okay? And the economy hasn't got better at all, or otherwise I wouldn't be in this crappy job that I'm in right now, okay? Things are totally still going downhill, and they're propping everything up the same way they do every time they crash the economy and stuff like that. And they do this every single time so that you get hope and drop your guard, and then it causes maximum damage when they drop the hammer, okay? That's why they do it, because they're pure evil. They walk with Satan. That is their love. They love Satan, okay? There's no turning back for them. They just want to get darker and darker and darker, okay? That is exactly who they are, all right? So it's not getting better. This whole thing is a sham. So we really need to pay attention. If you guys hear anything, and I mean anything, of any deals, closed door stuff, and it might come a few days later, after the 2nd or the 3rd, all right, of next week, anytime within that week is close enough for me, that there is some backdoor deal going on, pay attention to it. Could they do some sort of deal with Israel at the same time? Yeah, sure, of course, that's totally possible. I'm saying be open to the idea that it has nothing to do with Israel, and that could come later, and the tribulation has already started, all right? They're getting you to look at something, pull off over here, and you're still looking at it over here thinking, oh, nothing started, and really, the deal's already taken place, and the tribulation has started, and the countdown of the whole thing, okay? But don't freak out. You love God. He's watching out for you. The only reason we'd be here to the last second before the bombs fall is to save more people, okay? That's what our job is. We're ambassadors, all right? We're to be ballsy to the very end and be ambassadors for Christ, okay? So keep this stuff in mind. This is as far as I think I want to go with this right now, and I didn't tell you the date, and I'm not going to, all right? You guys can play with the numbers yourself and figure it out. But you know, you can come up with a pretty good proximity from what I've told you on what it is. Is my day exactly right? I have no idea, but that's mine. That's something that I'm just going to hold on to. I think giving you guys close enough, at least a few weeks within a time period to be watching for this to go down. If it happens sooner, like I say, nothing's better than that. It'll be awesome to get out of here. But if this stuff all lines up exactly like what I'm thinking it will, then we have just a little bit of time still before this is up. But we're going to be paying attention. I'm expecting that the Holy Spirit, if it starts, is going to reveal to all of us, and we're going to feel it in the Spirit, okay? An incredible darkness take over. I feel stuff already, and it's getting darker and darker and darker. And even when the Pope got in back in like 2013, in my mind, it felt like the sun set. We were in the dark, but it's gotten darker and darker and darker, and we're about to get into this. And I've been praying to God, if we don't see this on TV and it's done behind closed doors, this meeting, that it'll be revealed to us. So pay attention, all right? This is something that you guys can definitely consider here, all right? If it doesn't happen and we go on in the year or whatever, we'll be punching numbers next year because we know it's getting close. We already know that it is. We're feeling it. But when we put everything together, vision of destruction, what's going on, the pace of things speeding up, the whole facade right now with everything and how things are about to get better and they're not. Oh man, I tell you what, it looks like it is. And I keep seeing I saw two this morning, pastor chicks. One was like, oh, I have a prophecy for you. It says by this fall, you're all going to be blessed more than ever. And then another girl was like, let me tell you how to fix your financial needs so you can be living more abundantly. It looks like she's living in a huge house and stuff like that. And it's like, good grief. And they're not even doing any prophecy. They're just talking what they hear from prosperity gospel pastors and stuff like that to give people encouragement. But that's what their minds are wrapped in. If you talk to most Christians about this kind of stuff, like we're at the end and we're about to be with the joy of the Lord, it's incredible. Watch the panic set in. They don't want to have anything to do with it, all right? And I know the reason I'm being attacked is Satan, because the last video I was talking about heaven and how great it is, and that encouragement's awesome, and he just can't stand it. So he sends his religious zealots that start attacking what tank top I'm wearing, or accusing me that I don't know the Bible or something like that, all right? When I've been reading it, and I've been Christian since I was 6 years old. Okay, it's ridiculous, but we're getting close, all right? And I know this is kind of a big thing to talk about, so it's kind of a bold idea, and it definitely changes it up a little bit from what we're expecting. But just pray about it over the weekend that God will reveal something to you, and to watch out. You guys can go to God just as easy as I can. He listens to all of our prayers. So I'm always happy to pray for people and stuff like that. But I always try to tell them, you have just as much power. The second you ask Jesus in your heart, you have permission to go straight to the throne and ask Him yourself and everything else. So yeah, you guys talk about it and pray about it, and definitely be vigilant of this, because we're in a dark hour, and this literally might be about to take place right in front of our faces, and it'll be wise for us to know that it is for sure, so we're not caught off guard. All right, that's what I got, and that's what I wanted to share really bad last night. But like I say, waited one night and even had more to share. So maybe it was meant to be that way. But I'm gonna get this video out to you guys tonight, and I'm gonna start it right now. So I'll catch you guys next time. Okay, God bless. Talk to you in a bit. Bye.